Hey guys, JJ back again with another Saturday of Zoom networking. Our guest speaker today is an absolutely awesome guy. I love this guy. Like all of us, he started as a student, has become an entrepreneur, a businessman, a successful businessman, not only in real estate, but just even outside of real estate. Just a heck of a great guy. He's a father, he's a husband, he's a family man, he's an entrepreneur, and he's also one of my good friends. I'd like to introduce you guys to my good friend, Zo Guzman. How are you, Zo?
I'm doing amazing. I'm humbled. I'm flattered, to be honest with you. I appreciate everybody's support. I'm still trying to figure out how Pace does the whole chat thing and the video thing. I don't know how he does it. So if I don't respond to you in the chat, I sincerely apologize. This is all on you to me, but I appreciate you guys. And
Yeah, no, and we'll make this work the best we can. If you guys are on the call right now, and don't forget the bottom of the screen, there's the reactions, and you can hit the little raise hand button, and we'll take your questions, guys, whenever you want to bring them around. We're going to talk a little bit about Zo first, do a little bit of an interview on his background, and then we'll get into talking about Gator, the power of community. Really impressed by the turnout you got here today, Zo. We got really, really good turnouts.
that's what we Gators do. That's what we
Oh
do. We
man,
just
well,
turn
and hopefully we all stick around for the breakout rooms because that's a lot of fun. Hey, so let me ask you. We all started real estate at a different time in a different way, and some of us start younger in life, some of us start later in life. For me, it was later in life, um, but we all get started. You know, we have certain similarities with people, whether it's real estate or not. But I wanted to ask you about, not only how you got started, but say those years from your teens to your 20s when we're all developing and we all get out to do whatever we're going to do, whether it's college, whether it's military, whether it's retail, whether it's nursing or whatever, law enforcement. Um, from your teens into your 20s, were you exposed to real estate? Was mom an agent, dad a contractor? If not, what were you doing? Was it something completely different? What were you doing through those years of transitional years of before you got married and getting into business?
Yeah, so I was a baseball player, so I was an athlete all my life. So I was don't want to toot my horn, but pretty good ball player. I went to Berkeley to play ball after high school. Um,
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, it was a great experience. I was there when Jason Kidd, Lamont Murray were in college and lining up the charts. So it was exciting. But to go to your point, the reason why I was successful in those endeavors was exactly what you're promoting, which is the power of community. I was always the younger one, always playing with the older ones, right? I was that little one that was a pest and a nuisance when it came to playing ball. But you build a rapport and a relationship, and that allowed me to have the opportunities moving forward. So I was playing ball. That was my biggest thing. My wife, who I've been with for 30 years, married 27 of them. If you do the math, we were young parents. So during college, I came back home to support the family and start working. And in my real estate aspirations, I mean, I'm always fascinated with real estate. I think we all are. And I don't think I was fascinated more so with um, the actual acquisition and the whole entire process of real estate. I was more excited about, you be your own, the entrepreneurial part of being in real estate. That was the biggest thing with me, is kind of doing my own thing. But I never really wanted to get into the traditional realm of real estate, whether it be a broker, agent, anything like that, even though it intrigued me. But that was my
So,
biggest call to real estate.
let me ask you, when you're going to Berkeley,
Hmm.
what were you studying for your degree at
It
Berkeley?
was business admin. Yeah.
That's what I did at USC.
Yeah. Hmm.
So when you got out of Berkeley, uh, did you go to the major leagues and play with Pete Rose, or were you getting into some business field with your business degree, or did you jump right into real estate? What did you do after college?
No, actually, I didn't complete college. I was 2 years in, and me and my wife, no regrets, but irresponsible young kids, and we got pregnant super early. So I made the decision to sacrifice, which I look back now, it's not really a sacrifice, right? We were in this together, and I put those things aside and came back and decided to just go straight to work. So I went straight into what I'm good at, and that's basically just talking to people, right? Networking and going out there and branding myself. And I went into sales, and I was good at it. I excelled everywhere I went to. So my first job was I was the assistant manager for, and they're not even here anymore, but that's how I'm aging myself here. Radio Shack. We all know Radio Shack, right? So I
Yep.
was assistant manager of Radio Shack, excelling there. And then just in my approach and how I spoke to people, then another opportunity came of an upstart medical supply company that was being put together here in California. They were based out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. And the VP of sales, I would just say, yeah, hey, do the Zo thing, right? Hey, what's going on, man? I'm gonna sell you a phone, this and that, or whatever. Just doing my thing, just chopping it up. He took a liking to me, and this guy from where the actual office was situated and being put into place, he honestly passed probably about 3 or 4 Radio Shacks to get to mine. But he liked coming to mine because of just the whole personable and just like the way that I handle him and approach him. So long story short, he offered me a position there. And I was the national, not this national, but I was the Western Hemisphere manager for the medical supply company. And then from there, I just went and evolved into being the VP of sales for my current company and position. Been doing that for 20 plus years at that capacity, probably 20 of them. So yeah, I just came to work and hustle and grind, man. Try to do the responsible thing and take care of my family. And honestly, no regrets. Yeah, I mean, this is God's plan, and I didn't think it was when this all happened, and it was tough being young parents. But looking back, it was a blessing because I would have hate to have seen the kind of person that I was going to become, being a successful athlete, if you want to call it. This is my calling, is to be a successful parent and community member, and kind of give back to others. So,
You know, we met through last year's picnic, I think, did we not?
yes,
And
no, no, it was a book signing before that.
the book signing right before the picnic, yeah.
Hmm.
And I think I asked if you wanted to come on and be a volunteer, and you said sure. And then we just started working together from there as far as doing things that were community involved. Um, Real estate, you're in the Gator program, I'm in the Sub 2 program. They're both, Pace Mortgage programs. How did you find out about Gator? How did you find out about Pace? What sort of took you in that direction?
It was all by chance, Jay. And honestly, again, I'm telling you, you got to read the signs. When you're in it, you're not reading the signs, but later when you can step back, you're thankful for all the signs and the things that were given to you and the opportunities. But it was all by chance. I mean, I'm a small business owner as well. So I have a small little business that in 2022, at the end, last quarter of 22, when everybody was saying that the recession in 23, inflation, the world was going to end, right? Double digit unemployment, all this good stuff. You got to scale and you got to be ready for it. So I went out, searched out on the internet something to help me survive this thing and not have to lay off anybody. So I went out, found my boy Grant Cardone, and I got his little sales funnel marketing thing. I tried it; it doesn't work. So that's just my experience. Just gonna throw it out there. But you know what? I thank him for that because the algorithms, I don't know what it was, but Pace's stuff just started popping into my feed. Just videos and videos and videos. So I'm like, who the hell is this guy? I've never heard of this guy. Never heard of this
Yeah.
guy. We know that I know Jerry Norton, we all know Grant. I even knew Ryan Pineda before I knew of Pace. And then his content was just, I mean, this guy, and that's the thing I'll give it to him. He speaks to us normal people the way that we want to be spoken to, and it's easily accepted. And the whole concept of creative just resonated with me. And then it went back to what we talked about earlier, where I had a fascination with real estate early on, but just didn't want to go through that whole traditional, way of means. So the creative side was just so like, well, let's do it. So I right away called. It was funny because my wife would watch me. I'd be going down that rabbit hole in the middle of the night watching YouTube videos, and I even told Pace when I saw him at the book signing, I go, bro, I'm not embarrassed to admit this, and you probably hear it a lot, but I man crushed on you a little bit, right? So you just watch these videos and you kind of do your thing. Um, And then but the call I made was actually for sub two because Gator wasn't really being promoted at that time. It was, subject to. So I was all in for the sub two part of it. I called ready to join, but with my job and the demands of my job, demands of subject two, to really get involved in that. And just the kind of person that I am, I like to squeeze everything out of the orange kind of guy. I tell people I'm the kind of guy that if we go to a buffet and I spend $30 on a plate, damn well I'm going to eat $100 worth of food. That's just who I am, right? So I know I go crazy. So I kind of stepped away from that, disappointed. But then Gator opened up about 2, 3 weeks later, and I'm like, dude, let's do it again. It's a calling. So I jumped in and never looked back. And I really joined Gator honestly not to be going out there and loaning on EMDs, even though it was fascinating. The real reason why I joined Gator is because I want to be part of the community. Bottom line, that was it.
And
And I was
so
like, sorry.
you say, so let me ask you, we've got a lot of people on the call right now. I think a few of them know what Gator means, but we're going to have people, watching this weeks and months down the line off the YouTube channel, and some of them may not know what Gator means, and we have some new Gators on the call today, and that probably know more than I do because I'm not in the Gator program. But for people like myself that aren't in the program, or people that might be watching on YouTube weeks or months later, what is the Gator program? And again, for some of the newer Gators on the call today, to get it from your perspective, because you're a Gator OG, you're the old gangster. What is your perspective of the Gator program for the newer folks, or for people that don't know at all what it is?
Yeah, so OG, I call it old guy. So that's my definition of OG. But yeah, I've been in the program for a year and a half. When we got started, it really was, and it still is, it's based around transactional lending, microfunding, quick hitting type transactions, EMD, double close, down payment assist, things that kind of transact within 30, 45 days, pretty much what the basis of it was. But it's evolved since then. I mean, there's parallels to it with private money lending, which isn't officially part of Gator. I think it's something that's been mentioned to be part of it down the road. But it runs parallel with the Gator funding component of it. But you can Gator up a PML deal, which to me this is what I tell most Gators is when you go into investment possibilities, it's like, the Gator method, the methodology of Gator, which is big chunks in a small amount of time. I think that's the frame of mind that you got to be in. Even though nowadays it's a hard ask because people know what the Gator community is asking for in regards to returns. And that's where it gets a little bit murky. I think we as Gators have to understand and really understand our expectations, when we go into these investments. And then also, too, as borrowers come into the community asking for our assistance, they also got to be realistic in what they're promising as well, too. So I think there's that area where we got to work on it as a community. But again, to go back to your question, I mean, it's basically just the way I pitch it now, and I tell people is, look, since there's so many evolutions of it, now we have Alpha Gator where you can do hard money lending and all this good stuff, and down the road there's going to be business funding down transactions, and maybe credit sponsoring, PML. Again, these are all things that are being discussed in the community. So I tell people, look, man, I'm your money guy. So basically, when it comes to the money component of a transaction, whether it be the transactional stuff, your traditional EMD and your Gator stuff, or PML or raising or investing, I'm the money guy. Give me a call. I'll take care of you, and we'll make it happen. So I tend to kind of just pitch it as it's the money component of a real estate transaction. That's just a generalized answer that I give people.
Cool. Yeah, and there's so much to learn, so much to grow into. Graham Norris, you are on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Hey, so I'm in an elite Gator. Just curious about your first Gator deal. Was it just a EMD, or how can you explain how that happened? How did you find it? And now, what's your favorite method of getting EMD or transactional deals done?
So that's a great question. Thanks, you, Graham. So my first EMD transaction was a JV transaction, which I suggest to all Gators or actually any investor, right? There's no reason to reinvent the wheel. When you're going out there and investing, find someone who's established, been doing it, and is successful. I think you get more value in learning the whole entire process, kind of having your hand held a little bit. But yeah, invest with the investors so you have some skin in the game so that you're able to learn as you go through it. That's what I did. I JV'd. It was about a month and a half into the program. I worked with, a lot of people call me again an OG just because of my tenure, but there was people before me in sub two that were even OGs that I look up to. They were my mentors, and they walked me through the process, and we did a JV together, and that was pretty much it. And I went out there the way I got it, and this is how I tell people, as they're trying to lead gen, is you have to go out there and use everything that JJ is teaching you. So that's why it's very important to actually join his group so that you can get all these nuances in marketing and selling yourself. Because I'm in sales. This is what it is, it's sales and marketing. Is going out there and promoting yourself and being that red Lamborghini in a sea of white ones, because we're all great at what we do. But what we have to do is we have to set that separation and separate ourselves to a different level so that you're known, right? You're known, and like JJ says, your name precedes you, and you want to be memorable, not forgettable. So that's what I did. I went out there and I marketed. The good thing, like JJ mentioned, when I started in Gator, there was about 600 or 800 of us. It was just a small little group learning. It was like a startup company. We're kind of learning the whole entire program together. Even leadership was. We found about mutual release by making mistakes and doing deals in mutual release states. And that's kind of how we got started. But again, when I went out there and marketed to the Facebook groups, the wholesale groups, and pitched what we were all about, it was something that was acceptable back then because it was new to them as well too, right? They were not familiar with this lending component, this third party type, component, and it's basically just a sales pitch and just you being personable with the individual. So that's how I went in lead gen. It was pretty much Facebook wholesale groups. Now it's evolved into title outreach, agent outreach, to even hard money outreach, even to end buyer outreach, the investor. I mean, these fix and flippers are buying their properties from somebody, right? Wholesalers. So it's just going out there and just networking and branding. But what I will tell you where I killed it, Graham, and this is where, I'll give myself a little bit of credit, is the in-person meetup. To me, is where that's my kill shot, to be honest with you. That's where I feel like if I can see you and I can get you in my realm, right? I feel like I can close you. So that's where my confidence goes up. So that's why I'm so much stress going out to these local REIs outside of our community. It's always good to go within our sub two and our Gator community and do those meetups. But the best thing to do is go outside of those and talk to others and go out there and network yourself and brand yourself and bring value and substance so that when you're not in those meetups or not in those rooms anymore, guess what? They're still talking about you. And that's when you know you've done something, because at that point you left some kind of mark where now they're actually advertising and marketing for you while you're no longer in that group. And I think that speaks volumes in the presence that you made and the substance that you brought to those meetups.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Zo, for coming on this call and explaining all that. I think it's tremendous. Thank you for
Appreciate you.
your
Thank you.
contribution.
Graham, thank you so much. Zoe, I always, we're so similar in our perspectives. It's great. And again, for those that are on the call, yeah, the best shot is the live shot. Best shot is a live meet. There's nothing better than a live meetup. But you guys ought to keep in mind also that sometimes you might live in a community that's not like LA or Southern California or so I live. And a lot of times it's your network of people from around the country. And that's why it's really, really important to learn how to leverage social media to your advantage. Mr. Prince Edwards, you are on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Hey, how you doing, JJ?
I'm
Thank you
good.
for having me. Zo, what's up, brother?
What's up, my man? How you doing? We're gonna close that one. We're gonna close it.
Oh yeah. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. You answered my damn question, but got another one for you. So in terms of Gator, who is it really for all the new people? Like, how can someone be successful, but who is it really for?
Um, I guess elaborate more a little bit on the question.
So
I'm
you
sorry.
have, and I say this because I had a friend and she was like,
Mhm.
should I go into sub two? Should I go into Gator? What should I do? Right? And she doesn't really have that much time, but she's trying to figure out what should she do.
I can only speak on the Gator perspective, and then also in talking to a lot of my sub two family and my friends. Like I said, I saw Mark here, Darren, of course, Lance is here, and all the others that are Gator and sub two. They can speak on that both component of it. I know when I was presented sub two when I first got started, it's a big undertaking, which I'm willing to take, but unfortunately, I'm married to the job. And then once I divorce that, then yeah, I'll definitely join the sub two. But I can speak on the Gator perspective. It's again, I'm a little different. I know a lot of people that are joining Gator are looking to make that money. They want to 5, 10x their cash, which is cool. It can be done with a lot of hard work, and going out
Yeah,
there and networking. But again, like I told you, when I came in, it was all about networking. It was all part about doing this and building a brand and building community and try to grow organically and still stay within myself and not be overstretched. Because when you do that, then I was talking to some younger Gators, actually not even younger Gators, great Gators this morning. We had just a little lunch with Reagan Wong and Peter Yim. He was there as well too, and we just got together and we were just talking about that, the power of community. But it's just basically just branding and just kind of bouncing ideas off one another. Again, I did it for the community. It really wasn't to be an EMD lender or wholesaler. That just kind of took off, because I was already in the environment and the position and timing that I was in it. But yeah, on the Gator side of it, if you want to talk about the breakdown of the transaction, I try to make the transaction beneficial for both, right? A win-win for both.
yeah,
For the borrower and then also for the Gator, whether it's myself coming in and funding it through a transactional or going through a PML type setup, or if I'm going to bring someone else to give them proof of concept and also lend on a deal. I want to make sure that everything is highly vetted, everything is done right, due diligence, and it's a win-win for both. I want us to be a partnership because again,
yeah,
I'm playing the long game here. I'm not playing the short game. I don't want to be transactional with Prince. I mean, we've been talking for how long now? And
yeah,
we're now at a point now we might do a deal together. But
yeah,
again, that's just building the relationship so that we can not just do this deal, but do a lot more down the road. And that's what I'm trying to do. I tell people all the time, look, I've been doing this for a year and a half, and I'm tired of the dating game of Gator. I'm tired of dating, basically, at this point. Going through the whole this and that, vetting, all the other stuff. I just want to work with high integrity individuals, people that have good deal flow. They know my value. I know their value. We work together. We're eye and eye, and I'd rather do quality over quantity all day, every day. I'm in a position now where I want to lend because I want to, not because I need to.
So for a new person, you would say it's probably the most important thing is connecting and networking.
Whatever you do, even the newer
Yeah,
gators that are going through all their training, which I don't tell you not to go through your training. I know it's a lot, and you're never going to be done with training because trust me, Pace is dumping more stuff in there and it's just all that good stuff. And it's okay. It's just more and more info for you. But I would say definitely go out there while you're going through the training. And there's some younger ones here, like Emmanuel, that was saying that I'm still going through it, but I'm here networking. This is what you have to do. You still have to go out there and brand and start setting yourself up, and be honest with the person you're speaking to and say, yeah, I'm going through the training, but this is what I feel I can bring a value. If you don't know what your value is, jump into the Avatar series. Go and take a look at what your superpower is, and then kind of go through that reassessment, and then come back and then reintroduce yourself into the community. And again, and just try setting yourself apart. Again, try to be that red Lamborghini in a sea of white ones. That's what you have to do. And with the help of JJ and others that are doing it successful, you definitely can do it. It's really easy. It's persistence, it's consistency. And that's one way you're going to excel. But also, too, that's one way you're going to have longevity. Because
yeah,
if you don't continue doing that, then you're not going to have, you're not going to have anything to promote. You're going to fizzle out. And we don't want that.
yeah. Longevity, longevity. All
Mhm.
right. Well, that's my question. I appreciate you. Thanks
Yeah,
again,
I'll
JJ.
call you. I'll call you in a couple of days, brother.
No worries. I
All
appreciate
right.
you.
All right. Take care, brother.
Cynthia, you're on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
I first want to say thanks for being here, Zoe,
Thank
and
you.
always thanks, JJ and Prince. Those were some excellent questions. So I had two individuals in the community text me as though about your deal. So I've gotten a deal that I'm almost a year into holding it, but I don't regret it because I'm writing an ebook about what to not to do, what to not to do to buy your first small, and I think this is small, a small multifamily. It's a 24 unit, 212 buildings, 212 unit buildings. And I didn't have nothing but a little bit of money and a creative finance deal in front of me. And so I jumped in it, and I got an opportunity to put 45 years of experience around me. I've had some time to do what we're doing right here with 3.5 general contractors that I'm going to need. I have smoothed and massaged that relationship. We call each other. They call me. We really spent time. I got a project manager. I'm looking for a retired inspector. So while I can hire him, and while we're rehabbing it, it's being inspected. Okay. So I've learned some tricks. I haven't lost my shirt yet, and I need to raise. I have been trying. I'm gonna put that word try because it's going to happen. I think the gentleman I talked to yesterday is going to be able to come in, but I'm raising $165,000 private money. I am in a raising private money group, but guess what? My apartment building ain't pretty enough. I'm just going to be honest. It is not suburban enough. It's not a gorgeous hotel we making enough. And that's okay. That's okay because when I'm done, it's money enough. It's $2 million on the other side of this rehab. Okay. So I can show that and I can demonstrate perseverance.
Cynthia, what's your question? What's your question?
So I had two. One of them was, but I wanted to tell him that so that this first question, when you're lending Gator, and then you just mentioned something bigger than a Gator, right? What's a short timeline and what's a medium timeline? And we're going to say over $50,000 because a gentleman replied to me today that would just what 50%, he want 50%, 55% of the money, 6 months. It will blow me out of the deal. I want to do deals with you tomorrow. I don't want to get blown out of the deal I'm in.
Yeah. So my answer to that is it's just we're all entrepreneurs here. So I'm not going to step on anybody's toes. If that's what they want to if that's what they can offer, when it comes to a PML deal for the hold or whatever it is, and that doesn't work with your structure and the deal structure, then we look for another one. I always tell people there are investors for every deal. If the deal is vetted correctly, if it underwrites very well, which that's something that I would do. And there's people in our community that are just, I'll just be blunt about it, are just badasses when it comes to underwriting. First one that pops in my mind is Jason Parks, which is part of our Thousand Oaks group with Sunday and Juliet and all them. But what you want to do is you want to underwrite. If it all makes sense, then yeah, we definitely can go to take a look at. Like I said earlier, I'm into me personally. And again, I'm not going to knock the guy with the 50%. That's just his business model, and that's fine. It works for him.
Yes.
But I'm trying to play the long game here, and like I said, I'm trying to build a relationship where I'm looking to make more money during a long period of time and doing more deals with you than making short money right here and then. So the reason why I say that is it's kind of like in real estate, right? The money in real estate is buy and hold. You hold the property, and that's where the value is. You can get rich really quick by doing some wholesaling and flipping, right? Quick little transactions, make some money, but you're going to run out of money. The generational wealth is in the hold. Yeah. And I feel the same way when it comes to lending. Is the generational wealth of the money that's secure is the relationship that I build so that we can do these things over and over and over again than me making 50% off you day one, That's just the way I look at things. And I have others that feel the same way. And then I got others that feel the opposite way. And either way is wrong, and either way is wrong. It's just we have to come together, look at the property, look at what you're willing to offer, see if it's something that's realistic for myself, for others. And again, also too, you have to look at the position of the lender. Like myself, I'm in 5 deals now that are a little late in producing and consummating. So my position is a little bit leaner when it comes to lending, but you might have somebody that's a little bit more liquid and says, "Hey, look, let's give it a shot. I like you, Cynthia, and I want to build a relationship with you." I've done deals where, someone else might be like, "Oh, why'd you do that?" And I go, "Look, because I want to build a relationship with Cynthia. It's all about the relationship. It's not about the deal." So you got to stop chasing the money, So again, what I would tell you is if you have a deal proposal, let's definitely speak about it. I mean, there's great connectors in here. I just saw Lance. He's a hell of a guy that's well resourced and connected like myself.
Juliet.
If the deal makes sense, we can definitely get some eyes on it and see what we can do. Definitely.
Okay. What's considered a medium timeline? 6 months, 4 months?
Again, that's a question. I mean, it goes from PML to PMP. Most PMLs, again, if you're talking about Gators and want to Gator it up and use a Gator method, they're looking at returns within 3 to 4 months. Sometimes though, when you get those 4 months ask or returns, again, that goes back to the expectation comment that I made earlier, that those higher returns in short times bring higher risk, to be honest with you. And I feel that a lot of borrowers are just saying what they want to say, what we want to hear as Gators, to try to come into the community and access our money, because there's a lot of money in Gator. So I would just tell you and advise you, Cynthia, stay to where you're comfortable, and trust me, there are Gators in here that have turned into more of the PML type investment. So there's that transition that are going into not the Gator's head, but the investor's head, that are looking at all the deals all the way through and seeing what's the best way. And also too, as an investor, you want to diversify your holes and diversify your investments as well too, But again, speaking for myself personally, I'm open up to right now, because of the position that I'm in. If anything that I've been looking for is maybe 4 months at the max, an investment. But it doesn't mean that because I'm at 4 months max that there isn't other people out there that are willing to go 6 or 7. That's why I just say stay connected with the community like myself, who's well connected and resource. Again, I just saw Lance. Lance is well connected and resource, and there's other connectors in here as well too. That we can look at the deal, chop it up, and see if our lenders that might fit for it. We can find a lender for it that makes sense for all, and everybody wins. So
okay, thank you very much. I appreciate.
You're very welcome.
You're articulating that knowledge. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I try.
Though you make a really good point that there is no right, there is no wrong. Everybody has their own perspective on how they want to do business or how they want to do their own business. I think the big key for all of us guys is we need to make sure we have things in writing. I talked to someone recently that laid some money out and they were not pleased with the person about the payback method. And I talked to the guy and I said, what do your contracts say? So, well, we don't have a contract. It was a word of mouth and a shake of hands. And you can't do that. You can't. I mean, if you trust people, then they trust you, then they shouldn't have a problem having a written signed agreement. And if you guys don't have an attorney, get an attorney. Find an attorney. As Pace says, you're going to have a team of different people. And one of those people should be an attorney that they know you. I call my attorney, he knows exactly who I am. When the secretary answers as JJ, they know exactly who I am. And you need to have that relationship, guys, because you need to have someone look at your paperwork and make sure your paperwork covers you. But as Zo said, there is no right, there is no wrong. Everybody has their own way, and some people aren't going to see it the way you do, and that's not right. It's not bad. It's just that you need to find people that work with you. Mark Presswood, you're on with Zo Guzman. What's going on?
What's up, guys? Hey, thanks for putting this together, JJ. Zo, it was a pleasure meeting you at the OCJV.
Likewise.
How the heck did they come up with Gator anyways? Where did that word come from?
One of our older leaders used to talk about how he felt like he was a zookeeper with the elephant, the gator, and the unicorns and all that good stuff. So yeah, I don't know where the terminology comes, but it makes sense, because the whole concept of gator is to get big chunks, right? And who better than get big chunks as a is a gator, an alligator. So
hey, Mark, thank you so much for your question. Appreciate you. Diane Klinger, you're on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Okay. Well, first, I want to thank him for taking the time to talk to me when he was on driving to Arizona last week. I posted I was new and I was just trying, and he reached out and said, hey, if I can help, I will. So I want to thank you because he gave me a great checklist to go down. I was afraid I was going to miss stuff, and I was trying to do Elephant Challenge and do Gator and do this and do that. And Zo kind of just said, you got a lot going on right now. Just focus on Gator training, but you need to take action. Thank you. And get your LLC and apply for the cards and get people know what you're doing. And I did that and started to build, my network. And thank you for giving me, a checklist to go down. And from that, I did make some posts in several different groups saying, I'm at this point, I'm ready to do some business. And I've gotten some great responses, and I've built up probably 50 to 75 people that responded, and I archived, and, I'm trying to get them to a group. But my question is now, there's so many people that are saying, yes, I can help you. Let's JV, let's do this. And a lot of the people, I guess from one of Pace's sites aren't necessarily in a Pace group. How do you discern or vet who is kind of really legit and who is not? Because some of my interactions with some of the people are kind of making me go, are they really willing to help, or are they somebody that wants to take advantage? And you see a lot of people posting, hey, beware of this person, beware of that person. How do you tell? You know?
So you actually answered your own question. So basically, go with your gut. Your spotting senses are there for a reason. You know, just go with it. They always say the best deal is always the best deal might be the deal that you don't even take. To be honest with you, right? So just go with your gut. That's basically what I do. And then also, if you are going to go further on and have these conversations, that's the reason why I put down the power of community. And I'll give an example of what just happened not too long ago, maybe less than a week ago. A younger Gator was approached by an individual for an EMD loan of I think it was $18,000. Of course, it's the next day urgency. I need it done tomorrow, right? So I always tell Gators, their urgency isn't your urgency. You got to give yourself your due diligence period, and you have to go through your vetting process. Your own personal, and also if you have a TC on your team or a TC in your tribe, they're going to want to do their own due diligence as well. But she sent it out to the group. Someone tagged me on it, so I saw it and I was quick to respond. And I go, just from the eye test again, I went with my gut. I go, it doesn't smell well. It doesn't smell well at all. I'm not saying it couldn't be a deal, but just again, you got to realize that your time is valuable. Of course, your money is valuable if you're going to invest in it. And you know the value of your money, but all those that are asking for your money don't know and don't care about the value of your money. So you need to sit there and understand that and not have the FOMO or the shiny object syndrome where you're just chasing the return or whatever it might be. Just again, if you right away feel it in your heart when you're speaking to them, they're not aligned with you, vision or anything else, I wouldn't continue with the conversation. I say, I appreciate you reaching out. I'm good. Thank you. Maybe down the road. Right. Or just, again, that's the dating component that I mentioned about continue to date them. Who knows? Just if you really want to date them and see how they're doing and kind of be a big friend and whatever, or go to the community and ask as well too. Well, that's what this young lady did. And sure enough, with the responses that were coming back, this individual was a known scammer. So the community came to her aid and helped her pretty much do exactly what you're asking, is vet the individual. So that's the reason why this community is just so awesome, is that, we're all open to help. And help. We don't want nobody to go through losses. I went through losses. I think losses are the greatest teaching. It's the best way to learn, right? Is to go through an adversity and lose. I've lost money, but I made money. And what I do is I respect and honor those that are willing to talk openly about their losses, because I think that's the best learning component in all of this, than me just posting a check saying, "Oh, I made $30,000 today." That doesn't help you, Dan. It doesn't at all. While you're still kind of going through the whole, like, I just want to get started. But when you see those checks, guess what happened? You start getting that FOMO, right? You're like, oh, dude, I got to do a deal because everyone else is succeeding. No. Diane works at Diane's pace, and you just do what you got to do. And just work with high quality people, really good, respectable, credible connectors or others that are doing it. JV on your first deal. Do not go in your deals alone. So if you're networking and doing all this stuff, get with somebody like myself or other that's seasoned. And talk to them and go through it together until you get full comfort of what you're doing. And then eventually the training wheels will come off and you'll go out there and kill and conquer the world, and you'll be doing all the things that you want to do. But there's no reason to reinvent the wheel. Even me, what I'm doing into my next chapter in this real estate game, where I'm looking to build out a fund and raise massive capital to deploy it on the island of Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is my primary focus in acquisitions. I'm not going to go in there and say, I'm Zo from Gator, like I know everything. No, I'm going to go in there and I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. I'm going to work with those that are established and learn as I earn. And then from there, you're going to, go out there and be successful afterwards. So I would say, to mitigate the risk, because you can't eliminate it completely, because this is a risky endeavor that we're doing, real estate or just lending in period. I'm at risk lending money to my son. He still owes me money. So it's just a risk that you're doing. What you want to do is you want to go and work with, people that have been doing it before, so that you can get that comfort of the risk mitigation, which is all that we can do in this thing, is mitigate the risk as best as we can. But just go with your gut, to be honest with you, honestly. And there's no rush, Diane. Honestly, don't look at the guy that's saying, I'm doing this, I'm doing fine. Trust me, the guy that's saying he's doing 1,000 deals a day. I don't want to call his bluff, but there's it might be different than what he's appearing to show. So just go with your gut. Don't get caught up with that. Talk to like-minded people. Keep networking, and just go with your gut, and you'll be successful. And again, and then JV with seasoned individuals before you do your first deal on your own, so that you can kind of get that white gloves approach, right, as you go through it, so that you're not left alone on an island. And then we're going to sit here and talk about your losses or whatever. So that would be my recommendation to you. But again, take your time. Take your time. Do not get that fear.
I got time.
Yeah, just take your time.
Oh, I got two things to add for Diane on that.
Yeah.
One thing I always tell people, Diane, is don't chase the deal, chase a relationship. You will have people coming at you to chase the deal. They need your money right now. They're not concerned about the relationship. They're concerned about the deal. And, not every deal is going to be a good deal. Sometimes, as those, sometimes the best deal is the one you don't go after. It's just like you are wise to not go after that deal. But if you take the time during that process to really interview, scrutinize, get to know the person, are they interested in you in a long-term relationship? Like those talk about, he's in a long-term relationship. I'm in long-term relationships. I'm not looking for a one and done deal. I'm looking to surround myself with successful people. So number one, don't chase a deal, chase a relationship. Number two, another thing Zo said, it's part of the community. So you've got a great community in Gator. Feel free to join my community. I got people from 35 education platforms in my community. And what I constantly go after is to help one another, have me help you, and you help someone else, and someone else helps me. It's all about building relationships and surrounding ourselves with successful people that have the answers. And as long as you have 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 people that you can reach out to that are legitimate friends, you're going to be stronger. You're not going to be left on an island, like Zo says. You don't want to be left on an island. This is not something you do by yourself. So do not chase a deal. Chase relationship, and be involved in the networks that you're signed up with. Don't just be a passive observer in Gator. Get out there, comment, message, interact, and be involved. Because people help people they know, like, and trust. They cannot like you unless they know you, and if you're not visible, they're not going to know who the heck you are. So
yeah, and then I would say too, honestly, it's kind of like a catch-22. So as you go out there and network yourself and brand yourself, you're exposing yourself to a lot of people, because that's what you're trying to do, right? You're trying to cast that wide net, and then when you do so, guess what you catch in the net? Sometimes you catch some sharks, you catch some bad things. So
they're out there.
Yeah, you just gotta I tell people all the time, look, you have to go out there, you have to take action, what you're doing, Dan, and I love it, right? And just because you're taking it doesn't mean that you have to just like read and react right away. So, but you have to take action. That's the only way you're going to get off the sidelines and be successful, right? You can't be paralyzed with, over analyzing things. So I tell people all the time, look, go out there and shake the tree, damn it. Shake it hard as you can, vigorously, right? Take that action. Yeah, the fruits of all your hard work are going to fall off eventually, but also there's going to be some snakes that fall out of the tree too. Just got to be, understand that they're there. Just keep it pushing. But if you're not shaking that tree, you're not going to be exposed also to the fruits of your hard work. That's just my advice, and then and stick to your gut, honestly. And then again, work with the community, build out your tribe. Like JJ said, a handful of people. As you cast that net, eventually, and I've done it, you scale down to people that you know, like, and trust, and you base. It's just like high school, right? We knew everybody in high school. I was the most popular guy in high school, and then when you leave, like, you only have 5 friends. It is what it is. But that's just the kind of way it is. You go out there and cast it, and then you get with your collective. And then, I've been lucky to have great partners through this, people that have trusted me to be part of their collective, like here in Orange County, Mark and Brenda and Davey and Darren and Kevin and Grant and
great people.
Great people. Amber, all part of leadership, that they allow me to be part of it. But again, that's the cool thing, is that I can take it to that community, and I have that resource to help me, and then vice versa. We're constantly bouncing ideas off one another. Also on the PML side of it, I got great people like, and again, I'm gonna throw names out there just because, this is what it's all about. It's about not just me. It's about, everybody that I've come across and the things that I've learned from them, and they don't even know it, but I'm learning from them as well. Because you're in the proximity, you're going to grow because you're around people.
Yeah. And the building of relationships.
Yeah.
So we got a couple more people lined up. So the question, Diane, did we answer your question?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So I trust my gut, and I like the, JVing, because I have a habit of just wanting to get information. And I think the JV will help me to actually act on all of that information.
Yeah,
And this is a great community that I think has a lot of people that, will appeal to my gut, should I say.
well, please feel free to reach out to me. And you're definitely right. It's JVing is great. Working with some other people that have a little bit more experience. It's a great way to start.
Thank you.
Fergie, you are on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
What's going on, guys? Sorry, I have my camera off because I'm going back and forth cleaning up the garage. Actually, that kind of ties into my question. Shout out to everybody in Southern California, Zoe, the OG Gator, everybody here from OCJV. So I'm right now cleaning out the garage. I'm on a time crunch. Zoe, what are some suggestions for managing, doing Gator deals, making connections, and all that with W-2 and everything else going on?
That's actually a better question for my wife. She would probably answer that one better, if I'm handling correctly or not. But it's tough. I'm not going to lie to you. When I first got started, I was drinking out of all those 7 fire hoses that were coming your way. I felt like I had to be in every Zoom, right? And it's just going crazy. And then with your regular work. So what I did, honestly, is just, you put a system in place, which, is something that's manageable. I network first thing in the morning. When I wake up, I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. I start doing kind of what Pace does, do a quick little outreach and respond to emails and, all the Facebook notifications. I put myself out there. I go to work. The cool thing about my W-2 is I am behind a desk now. So, I've grown enough that where I'm not in the field, I'm a VP of sales for a medical supply company. So I'm afforded to stay in my office and just help other people do the work. Sometimes I got to put out some fires, but I'm able to do my deal flows during that work time. If I have some deal flows that we can do some things. And then after hours, I dedicate 3 hours actually every day to Gator outreach. So I talk to newer Gators every day after work. And again, whether it's mindset, whether it's just, talking about deals or whatever it is, or just kind of like with Dan's case, just kind of a little bit of direction. I do that as well too. But to be honest with you, there is no right or wrong answer. I know everybody has different situations. I know your situation personally, so I know where you're at. So yeah, it's difficult. Dealing with and you're a baby and this and that or whatever. I don't have those obstacles to deal with, but just trying to use the whole Elon Musk time blocking or boxing and just try to be within that. But again, being in this community, to be honest with you, it's a tough one. But yeah, just trying to block out some time and just trying to find the right balance. I know it's tough, but even for me, it's still tough.
Liz Lopez, you're on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Hey, Zo.
Hi, Liz.
What's your take on usury laws? Do you guys talk about that at all in Gator? I know that there's a lot of litigation going on right now and a lot of people getting sued over it.
Okay, yeah. So that's a I don't want to say a touchy subject, but it's a subject that we discuss a lot, with usury laws, just from the information and going back and forth and talking to attorneys. Of course, you get different answers from different attorneys. But the way that explained to us is, depending on the state and if it's noted, because each state has their different, regulations on usury, if it's noted or not. Also look at the state requirements and restrictions. But even with those requirements or restrictions, they're saying that as long as we're a JV partner in the agreement, not an actual lender on the agreement, we're the money side or the money component of the actual deal itself as a JV partnership, that JV partnership should allow us to eliminate any usury concerns. So in what we saw in the community, knock on wood, I haven't seen any of those come up, in our community. So I can't tell you or say yes or no that the JV agreement is actually working, or just no one has actually brought up the usury concerns. Or again, depending on the state that we're in, where if it's noted, then there really is no minimum that you can pay or maximum that you can charge, when it comes to usury. So that's the way that within the community we work. I don't want to say around it, but we work with the structure of the deal is by putting together an actual JV agreement where we're actually joint venturing into the deal opposed to lending in a deal. I don't know if it's semantics, but it's that's kind of how
often are people joint venturing versus lending? Number one,
we joint venture in everyone.
Okay, Scott Horn's a friend of mine, and him and Susan are the ones that brought up that a lot of people are getting sued over this. So I'm going to ask him about the JV agreements. He's an attorney in Texas.
Yeah, Scott Horn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think actually that's someone that I think someone that Pace actually has used before and has spoken to. I believe so.
He's very well known in the community.
Yeah.
He speaks to on a lot of events.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the way that we've been with the paperwork and putting things together, is just having a JV agreement and going in with the understanding with all parties that we're the money component of the agreement. We're not just a lender. We're actually part of the venture, but on the money side.
So they teach you that in Gator to be JVs, not just to be lenders.
I guess you could say they teach us. Yeah. It's part of the paperwork and the process. It's also something that I think I don't want to speak for the TCs because I'm not part of TCs, but I'm pretty sure probably in the TC training that's probably something that's discussed in there as well too, how to structure a deal and to have those components on there.
Mark Cheng, you are always Zo Guzman. What's your question?
How's it going? Thank you for putting this together. JJ, always a pleasure. Love this community. Made some amazing connections here. Couldn't miss my brother from a different mother, part of our leadership here in Orange County. He is indispensable, amazing human being to spend time with. My question is, just for some of the newer people, can you touch on the difference? Because I know you spoke about it a little bit, but can you expand a little bit of the value and the difference between a private money lender and a private money partner?
Well, thank you, Mark. It's good seeing you. Appreciate you showing support, man. I love you. But yeah, just it all depends on well, the real difference is just like, again, the length of hold and what your commitment is when it comes to the deal as well, right? So private money lenders are more so those that have active money. They're looking to invest active money. So their biggest thing is, and I'm more so on the private money side. I like to see my money churn a little bit, kind of go in and out, type of thing. And then on the private money partner is more so of someone I would believe that has more of a passive income, that has money that they're willing to kind of put aside in a deal that might be of a lengthier hold time, whether it be a year or 2 years or 3 years, where they're more so a partner in the deal. Where they're looking at equity stake or some kind of ownership, levels into the deal, opposed to just a flat fee or a percentage for their investment. I know that Mark had done one with Bridget and Gus, where it was more of a private money partner, partnership, where it's structured more of a lengthier term, and also I won't say the benefits, but just the way it's structured, you're looking at more so of some kind of equity stake or some kind of play as a partner in the deal, opposed to just the money component of a deal, which would be more so on the private money side or the lending side.
Awesome. Thank you. Amazing answer. And if I have one more moment to add on to it, you sound like you're very busy. You have a 9 to 5, but I also hear that you're part of a community. I mean, what pushes somebody who's already got so much going on with the business, personal life, that would motivate you to want to invest into a community of a bunch of people that you might not necessarily know? So just want to kind of get your take on the value of community and investing into something like that.
To be honest with you, for me, honestly, I think this is where I belong, to be honest with you, and I don't want to get too deep into the spiritual side of it, but like I talked about earlier about, following the signs. And I've been one of those where, I'm not looking at I'm not ignoring the signs that are there. But just for a little background on me, Mark, and who I am, I'm a very giving individual. I am one of those individuals that I get more joy out of seeing someone open a gift, during Christmas time than me receiving one. Right. And, I will sit there and praise someone else's wins above my wins all day, every day. I mean, if you look at my year and a half of doing this, my Gator tree is pretty extensive of people that I've spoken to at an early component of all that. Right. And then seeing them be highly successful and just killing it and slaying it. I love it. I love it. So it reinvigorates me to go out there and want to do more, because I feel like this is what I'm called to do. And trust me, I've been talking about leaving my job or divorcing my job for years. This is way before Gator and Pace came into my life, right? And you guys came into my life. But by me jumping into the community, trust me, it's accelerated at 10x to get out of this thing. because I know that this is where I need to be, is go out there and meet like-minded people. And in my next chapter of my life, which I tell people I'm in the back nine of my life, right? And I still have energy and I'm still young enough where I want to enjoy the things that I want to enjoy and put my family in a position where they have family legacy and of course, the generational wealth thing. This is where it's at. So after a long day of work, a W-2, trust me, I get re-energized just by throwing myself back into the community because I know that's where I belong. So again, I see the signs, I read the signs. Again, people like yourself and others that JJ and others that have accepted me into their community, accepted me into their home like JJ has. I mean, that speaks volumes to me. And I appreciate that and respect that. And again, my go-giver attitude. It's really easy for me to do things here in this community because this is, again, like I said, where I feel like I want to be and I need to be. So I'm working my tail off to get out of my W-2 so I can do this in a full-time clip.
Awesome, man. I mean, that's a perfect answer. I think that the jobs or the things that bring us money are the things that we feel like, it's a little more transactional we have to do. But I feel the same way. I could have a really busy day and, there's been times where, I forgot to eat for like 48 hours. And then, I'm going to a meetup and I meet all the people. And when it finally dies down, I'm in my car and go, oh yeah, I forgot to do this thing called eating. Right. It seems counterintuitive, but it's like you get the energy from the people and the connection. So thank you for your answer. And I appreciate you, my brother. I love you. Thank you, JJ, for, guiding, me and a lot of others how to show up with value first. So I appreciate you. Love you.
Well, love you, my friend.
Same, Mark.
Mark and I met last year, right about the time you and I did Zo. And it's funny. One of my favorite stories is about how Mark and I became friends. And we talk about, getting to know one another. And I saw Mark time and time again. He's always talking to people that are well known, and he seems to be in the mix and in the circle. And I didn't quite know him yet. And I thought, I got to get to know this guy. And, of course, both of you guys have been to SoFi Stadium with me for games, but next year, all three of us are going to the same game together. But I go up to Mark. He says, hey, Mark, I think I called him on the phone. I said, I'd like to take you to a football game. And Mark says to me, JJ, football's really not my thing. I don't really know the game. I don't like the game. I think you'd be much better off taking someone that would really appreciate the opportunity. And I said, Mark, I don't really care about the game. I want to hang out with you and get to know you. And we've been to a number of games now and have just become really good friends. And, I just like to say for those that are on the call, the real benefit of what we do isn't the money. The money's the goal, right? That's the carrot we chase. But the real benefit is experiencing every single day and getting to have friends in our life like Mark Chang, Zo Guzman, Liz Lopez, Lance Riggin, Juliet Saralou, Sunday Algini, some of the names of people out there. And although they're visible for what they do within the community, they're just great people. And so, Mark, I just had to share our story of how we connected. And again, thank you so much for being on the call today.
No, thank you, JJ. I want to add one piece. I just felt uncomfortable when JJ called because I felt like the value that he was giving me, I wasn't a good fit for it because it's, the first game, at SoFi Stadium. It's, sweet seats, all you can eat, all you can drink. And at that time, I was on a alcohol fast. And so I'm also a Niner fan in San Francisco, as you can see from the Golden Gate Bridge. So I was like, maybe you want to take a Chargers fan or a Rams fan there. And I'm not going to be able to drink enough to justify the ticket. And when JJ said, honestly, I don't really care about the game. I just want to spend time with you. It really showed the character of who JJ is. And I said yes to that. The game was just a bonus, but spending time with JJ, learning from him, learning who he is as a person. And if anybody does get the opportunity to spend any time with them, this is a small block of time. And I'm really grateful to be able to spend time outside of these personally with him to get to understand him as a human being. And I think that's the value that we get here. It's great with the marketing. We do this and X, Y, and Z, and we make money and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, what I'm really concerned about and what I'm here for is to build a connection with the human being across the table for me. So if I get a chance to break bread and share a meal with somebody, you know, that's what I care about more. And I think that's why I like Zo so much, is that we speak about food. Anybody that's near me, we got to talk food or else we ain't talking, just for clarity. All right. So on that note, I want to give space to everybody else. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Nancy Dunn, you're on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Hey there. Hey, Zo, I just wanted to thank you for having a one-on-one Zoom with me. That was really great. You gave me so much value then.
Oh, thank you.
This kind of have a question for both you guys. JJ, you mentioned earlier that you should brand just your name on all your stuff. I have 3 business partners, so knows about that. So I thought, well, if I did our company name instead, that way they can all be included, or should I just brand myself? And since I'll be on most of the videos, I'm kind of confused about
I'll
that.
let JJ answer this one because he's good at it. I know what's coming out of his mouth. I know what he's going to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Your Facebook page is your digital business card to the world.
Okay.
Page should be your name. It should not be Nancy Buys Houses. It should not be done. Done.
Yeah, it is. I just made my own business page for the business, so I didn't know if I should put that or.
That's good with a business page, and it should be the business page format. A business page should not be a page that adds friends.
Okay.
Business page is a page that one follows. It's a completely different format from the personal page. Once you create a business page, you can put in the general information who the partners are of that page if they're partners.
Okay.
You know, where your other partners, the 3 of you, each of your Facebook pages should be yourself, because each of you do not market the business, you market yourself. However, if you're posting things to your business page and all 3 of you have access to that page, then all 3 of you could share any of the business aspects from your page to their personal page, because a lot of group pages do not allow business pages to join. So business page cannot, I don't know what Gator's about, but I know my group, I don't accept business pages into my group. I want the people into my group. So I won't allow your business page to post, but I will allow you as the admin of your business page to share the business content from you as a person to my group.
Okay, so like when I'm doing videos and stuff for Gator for Us, I should be posting those on my personal Facebook that has just my name on that.
Well, yeah, because you're promoting you.
Okay.
And if there's 3 partners, it's like, 2 partners. One of them is not going to be the exact same, verbosity as the other. One's going to be more visible, one's going to be less visible. If you're the more visible person, then leverage that.
Okay.
Leverage that.
We kind of decided I would be doing all of that, the branding and stuff.
Well, you could do the branding, but on the other flip side of that, if your partners are not doing branding, people don't know who they are.
Well, yeah, was my problem. I'm like, well, how do I include them in this if I'm the one doing all the videos and stuff?
Well, and I don't know who they are. I don't know their names, but I'm just gonna say, are they money partners? What are they bringing to the table? Because
they're my general business partners. They're here today. I brought them.
Okay. I think to some extent, again, people's personal page reflects, they market themselves, not their business.
Okay.
So if there's a husband and wife, let's say it's a husband and wife, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering which way would be better and how do I include them?
Let's get away from the business partner thing. Let's say it's a wife and the husband says, oh, my wife markets that. She does all the visible stuff. I'm just back over here swinging a hammer. But the thing is, there are going to be people that you resonate with that they won't. So you need to market yourself. Yeah. However, there's going to be people that they'll resonate with that will not resonate with you. They'll resonate with your partners. And if your partners aren't out there being visible, they're not going to be able to connect to people that you ordinarily, and I'll just say, women investors may relate to another woman investor better than a man investor. They'll feel more comfortable, safer. You'll resonate to people that they won't ordinarily resonate with.
Okay.
On the same thing, men sometimes har 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 har, all this kind of cigars and football kind of conversation. Men might resonate with other men a little bit better than they might resonate with you. I'm not saying
that's understandable.
But if your partners are men or women and they're not marketing themselves, they are depriving your group of 33 to 66% of the market that they could hit.
Okay, so I shouldn't be doing all of it. They should be doing it some as well.
If and I don't know them. If they're not contributing, then I removed 2 people from my LLC. I started with the 3 of us. I removed them because they weren't they weren't visible, they weren't doing anything. It was all me.
Well, they have other strengths. It's just my strength is networking and putting myself out there.
They should still be visible so you could tag them. For example, one of the things is our face should take up most of our profile photo. We should have name recognition. That's part of being visible.
Okay.
Within the body of your post, you'll have a bio. It should say that you're a real estate investor. You can say works at in the name of your LLC. And as you go further down into your intro, it will say if are they studying Gator method at Pace Morby? Are they studying creative finance and Sub 2 at Pace Morby? What state are they from? What city are they from? What's their educational background? What's their Instagram link? What's their LinkedIn link? If they're not putting things into their bio to market themselves, to show other investors what the commonality is, because people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And if they're not marketing themselves, people aren't going to know them to have any opportunity to like them.
Okay, so they should at least have some stuff on their own page that has their bio on it.
Go look at my Facebook page.
Okay, I will after
this. Look at their Facebook page. Look at your Facebook page and say, this is how you should build out your intro.
Okay.
You come to even if they don't want to be the big networking people and be visible with videos, people will come across their page. Does your page clearly spell out who they are, what they're about?
Okay.
So that's was there.
I was just wondering how to do that since they don't want to be on the video, and I don't mind doing it.
Let me share my screen right now, really quick. Okay, so when you build out your personal Facebook page, you want to have name face recognition. Not be a person standing in the distance next to a boat, next to a car. I don't want to see someone's shoes. I don't want to see a guy's slacks. I don't want to see their buttons, 3-4 buttons down. Although their tie goes down to their belt. You want to see their face almost like a company ID badge, because you market yourself. And I say that in reference to if they're going to have an Instagram page, and if everyone should have Instagram. You just should have Instagram. When you have Instagram, you should have the same name and the same face on your Instagram.
Okay.
When you come back and you look at your LinkedIn page, have the same name and the same face on the Instagram page. And what that is, that's continuity of marketing. They should put what city they were raised in. If they live in a different city, put what city they live in now. Put what high school you went to. Why? Because someone else might have gone to the same high school, the neighboring high school. Oh my gosh, now that's commonality. Now, I don't know what your business partner's name is. It might be Terry, it might be whatever, but it just helps to, have that coming out. High school, secondary education, junior college, university. Here's an example. If they're in Sub 2, they put, say, Sub 2 Creative Finance at Pace Morby. If they're in the Gator program, you put State's Gator Method at Pace Morby. I'm in Amy Majori's Raising Private Money program. I'm in Carl Allen's Protege program. So there are different programs that you can be a part of, but when people come to your Facebook page, you want them to be able to see what they might have in common with you and why they should be considering you someone that they want to do business with.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering for me. I just was kind of confused how to include them into like the videos and stuff and how to do that.
And let's get you and me and your partners on a Zoom call. Let's talk about how to better market your company how to better market your business, how to identify roles for each individual person. Because even though you're going to be the main person, you still want you still want to get the other people involved. I mean, just because they're not going to be the main person doesn't mean they should have no involvement in the marketing.
Well, yeah.
So whoever they are, they might not be liking me right now, but it's just about you don't market your business, you market yourself, and if they're not marketing themselves,
Okay.
they're not marketing the business.
Okay. Yeah. I just didn't want to make any big marketing mistakes in the beginning of my Gator journey. So I just thought I'd ask real quick.
Yeah, as long as you're out there, you're not making mistakes.
Okay.
It's if you're not out there, you're making a mistake.
Oh, I'm always out there.
Okay.
So,
all right. Do we answer your question?
yes, sir. Thank you guys both. You're both amazing.
And let's
Thank
connect.
you.
Why don't you send me a text message? Let's make sure that you and I connect, get you in the group.
I was going to do that right after this, text you.
Thank you so much. Mr. Eddie Marte, you are on with Zo Guzman. What's your question?
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida, and I literally just started this week on Gator, and so I'm new to everything. I'm an introvert, so I don't really talk a lot with other people. I'm usually behind a desk chatting and trying to fix things up. Everything for me is new. I just created my Facebook, just created my Instagram, and I've been reaching out to everybody that has to do with real estate. I'm also going to be joining on the Orlando meetup, where Pace is going to be at on Monday. I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to break out of this shell. One of the things that I'm pretty much kind of struggling, which I kind of noticed after I started sending out all my information to other people, is that I don't like wasting other people's time. I want to bring more than just lending, right? So I want to be more valuable for other people, not just me. I just want to really connect and bring something to the table. And I realized since I'm pretty new, I don't know how to comp. I don't know I don't know a lot of people, so I can connect them with somebody else, maybe a wholesaler or a buyer. And I've been watching a lot of videos too. I've been going through the courses, but I I mostly learn by doing work. I could sit and watch a video over and over and over and over again, and chances are I'm not gonna learn anything unless I'm doing it. So I've been reaching out to a lot of people, trying to see if I can fall into a team, some place where I can actually bring some work. If I gotta make phone calls, I'll make them. If I have to lend, I'll do it. I don't mind doing the work. I just really want to find somebody and connect. And it seems like it's a little bit hard to do it if you don't bring anything else other than earnest money, a deposit. So how can I help? How can I I don't know how to say improve on something else other than Gator while I'm doing Gator?
Yeah. So to answer your question really quick, so all the people that you've heard speak, myself, Lance, and Mark, and others, and people that we have tenure. We have I have a year and a half into the program, and I was you a year and a half ago, right? So trust me, it's the thing. Like the same thing we're talking to Diane is you're only what 3 weeks? You said 3 days or 3 weeks into the program.
Like 3 or 4 days that
Yeah,
I started.
like, dude, like
yeah, I got my
you're
funding.
putting the cart way before the horses, brother. Like seriously, like it's like just take a step back and relax.
Yeah.
And what you've told me already is you're already doing a hell of a job already and out and reaching out and talking to other people. Continue to do that. Continue to talk to people. Join these type of Zooms. Join JJ's group. You'll get a lot of people that you'll intertwine. I always tell people, I'll ask you this question, so I'll call you. Have you jumped into the Avatar series at all? You know, with Pace and the Avatar series.
I did. I started watching. So I joined Gator the beginning of January. I've been watching the videos, but I got funding on Monday. So ever since Monday, that's when I actually started sending out my
Okay.
information to everybody. So that's why I say I only got a few
So,
days
so
that
to your point though, so your point is you got cash and you want to deploy it. So to JJ's
right.
terms is now you're chasing the return, you're chasing the deal, you're not chasing the relationship. You're that guy with the hot potato being like, okay, you know what? I want to deploy this money, and you're going to leave yourself susceptible to possibly making a bad relationship because now you're pressing for time and go into a bad decision or a bad investment. So again,
Right. And
yeah, just continue with what you're doing, networking and branding yourself. Again, you're gonna have to get comfortable with uncomfortable. You're gonna have to break into your introverted, mindset. Go out
yeah,
there and challenge yourself. I will tell you, if you're in the Florida area, there are a lot of killers in that Florida area. So definitely let's contact after this. And I can actually directly contact you with those big players in Florida, and that you can speak to them and try to bring value to them as well. But just you being accountable, you being consistent. Pace tells it all the time. They want people that are consistent, that are accountable. If you continue to do that, people will see your value as someone that wants to give. And then with that, you'll be given the opportunity to go out there and expand your horizons and then the possibilities. Rome wasn't built
okay.
overnight. It's just one of those things where
Yes.
you got to take time. And the reason why I stress that is I don't want you to jump into a bad relationship because you're so desperate for a relationship, that it's going to be years of headaches and a bad investment, a bad opportunity. Again, go back to it as
Right.
dating, right? You're not going to jump into a relationship just because, hey, I want to jump into a relationship. You're going to actually go through that dating process. So the same way as your network, go out there and also make sure that you date these individuals that you're working with, and you
Right.
don't go into a bad relationship or a bad partnership. Because again, even Pace says it. He's had to break partnerships because of you know, just bad, just didn't connect. JJ said the same thing. He had to drop a couple people from his LLC. It happens, and these are actually with time. So I would say just take your time. Don't be overzealous. Don't try to scale too fast. Just continue doing what
Right.
you're doing. Let's stay connected. I can bring you value with people that are in the community that can help you along your way. Really get comfortable with your superpower and your strength. And it doesn't have to be don't relate to like, oh, it has to be a real estate type superpower. No, squash that. What are you good at? You say you're an
Yeah.
integrator. You like to do behind a desk or whatever it might be, right? We'll find you
Yeah.
something or a team where they can find your strength and use your integration part of it, in that part of it. So the great thing about this community is when you join Gator, you're thinking, oh, I mean, I'm an EMD funder. I can do some PMLs along the way as well too. No, there are so many ways to monetize and make money here. That it's not even funny, from the connection side of it to underwriting to this and that or whatever it is, finding a team. Again, you're in a good place. You're in a good group right here. You have a great access to someone like JJ with knowledge and experience to help you market and brand yourself. But you're fine. You're fine. Honestly, don't put the cart before the horses. Don't be like, again, the problem is you got some cash, you want to deploy it. That's cool. Let's make sure that we do it in the right environment with the right people and the right investment. Work with high integrity, highly vetted individuals, and then
Yeah.
go from there. Again, don't chase the shiny object and put yourself in a precarious situation where next thing you're calling me and saying, "Oh, I did a deal, but it's gone sideways," right? So
Right.
yeah, so just basically, again, you're in a good place. Continue to do what you're doing. You are going to have to challenge yourself and break out of that. But let's connect afterwards. Like I said, there's a lot of people in Florida that I can think of a few already in my head that I would be more than happy to leverage myself and my position and my relationship with them to help you along your way, so that
Oh,
you can
Awesome.
grow.
so he's in West Palm Beach. Do you know who that you and I know that's in West Palm Beach?
Uh,
Mr. Mark Abramovich.
oh yeah, Mark. Yeah.
We got a really good friend of ours
Nice.
that's in West Palm Beach. And, for me to follow up on what Zoe says is, yeah, don't get caught up chasing the deal, especially when you're new. I had a woman tell me out of sub two that she didn't want to network yet because she wanted to build her business first. And, there's no sense in building your business and turn around and having no one to network with. You want to build your network as you're building your business so that as each day goes along, you got another and another and another person that you can reach out to and ask questions to. And what's going to be the key to your business is the 5 or 6 people you interact with the most that bring you value. So, networking is like door knocking, driving for dollars, cold calling. It's not going to be the first 6 people. You're gonna
Right. I
you're
get
gonna,
it.
you're gonna need to network. You're gonna need to learn how to market yourself. You're gonna need to learn how to use your own judgment to discern whether you should not or not add this person. So if you want, I'll help you with that, and I won't charge you a dime. It's not what I do. I just build my business by helping people, and the more people I can help to be successful, then the stronger we can be successful as a group.
Thank you so much. It's like what you guys said. And I've been reaching out to people. I don't know a lot, so I do feel like I am moving too quickly. Um, Sometimes I'm thinking like I've been doing this for over 2 months, over 3 months, and nothing has happened. But then I realized like I just got funding on Monday, so
Yeah.
what am I worrying about? So I get it. I definitely know that I need to slow down,
Eddie, I'm
especially.
going to tell you right on this call right now, with everybody having their numbers up, you want to reach
Yeah.
out to Liz Lopez. You want to get to know her. You got my number. You've got Zoe's number. I don't know if Sunday's still on the call, but you want to reach out to Mark Chang, Peter Yim. I mean, I could call 10 names on this call. You do not want to go away after the call's over.
Oh yeah, I can tell you,
A
Aaron.
dozen people that you can add to your friends list and really get to know having a personal relationship. So do not leave the call at the end of the recording. Okay.
I won't. I will be
We will
here.
help.
And
Is there
I
any?
know
Yes. Yes.
I know I have a call tomorrow with Zoe, early in the morning. I will bother you. But I I don't know what time zone you're at. So
Oh, I'm in the best coast, the West Coast.
oh nice. I gotta figure out what time to call.
So yeah, I'm in California. So Pacific time.
All right. All right. Yeah, I don't want to call too early.
No, I'm up. Don't worry about it, brother. Yeah, so
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you
Okay.
guys.
Let's talk more after this call, after the recording ends, because we can help you with more stuff. Hey, so I think
Okay.
that's it for the call. Man, you dropped some awesome gold nuggets there. Crazy value. You know what's crazy when I'm meeting people for me, because I chase a relationship so much more than the deal. I don't always get a full value of the actual real estate value people bring, such as yourself, Mark, Liz. Liz Lopez came on her Zoom call. She blew me away. You've blown me away today. I'm now watching Mark speak in front of groups, Mark Chang, and he's phenomenal. Um, but you brought some unbelievable value today. I'm sure people are going to be watching this call again and again. You've brought quite a viewing audience to the call again, as well today. My friend, I got 2 last questions for you before you jump into the breakout rooms. And one of those questions is, if people want to reach out to you, I think you're going to give me the answer. How do they get a hold of you? Is it your MySpace page, your TikTok, your Snapchat?
oh yeah, I should promote my MySpace page. That's a long time ago, huh? So no, the best thing to do is to just scan my QR code. I'm an old school kind of guy. Just text me, give me a call, give me a text. But if we're gonna look at social platforms, what I'm gonna do with my movement to acquisitions this year into the island of Puerto Rico and all the things I'm gonna do there, I'm really gonna highlight my Instagram page. So I would definitely jump onto Zo Knows, which is my Instagram, Zo_knows_. Just jump on that, follow my journey. That's probably gonna be the platform that I'm gonna use the most. But you can find me on Facebook as well, and Zo Guzman, or just text me.
Cool, my friend. My last question to you, and I think again we have a similar perspective on this to some extent, but you're out there talking about Gator, you're the OG Gator. There are a lot of programs out there that have educational value, whether they're sub two, they're burr, they're wholesaling. There's a variety of education programs that have a Facebook page for their community. Each of these communities have brand new inexperienced investors coming in and experienced investors coming in every day. Um, with all these people coming to Facebook, because all these communities have a Facebook page, what's the value of really networking beyond just getting the education? What's the value of networking to someone's business? And what's the value of joining a group like mine, a networking group, to the success of someone's business?
I mean, it's invaluable to be honest with you. I am not who I am today in my successes in my journey if it wasn't for all the teaching and all the expertise and the knowledge that you've given me to allow to brown myself and to, again, to be um, that red Lamborghini in a sea of white ones, right? So it's invaluable. I again, no, it's that old saying, and I'm a sports guy, so I use sports analogies, but Michael Jordan is to me is the greatest athlete, the greatest basketball player that I ever saw, and he didn't start winning things until he started buying into the community, right? So until he started trusting his players, and that's the biggest thing is that as a community, as we grow together, you'll have longevity, have more success as a community as you grow, than just doing it by yourself and being that lone wolf. So it's invaluable to go out there and network and market and go out there and brand yourself. Again, I know for some people it's uncomfortable. It is for me. I'm a very private person. I am actually a very private person. But you have to go out there and do those type of things if you want to get to the level of success that you want to get to. But again, like I mentioned before, you leave yourself vulnerable to some of the bad elements. But also, if it wasn't for me doing again, and I'll use a story real quick with you, JJ, the same way that Mark mentioned it. I heard about JJ probably 4 months prior to me reaching out to JJ for the same reason, is because I was like, dude, it's way above my pay grade. This guy is at a different level. I'm not ready to get there yet, right? So I wanted to bring myself to a point where that I could bring value to JJ. And finally, I got the courage to go out and reach out and say, JJ, I want to be a part of this collective, be a part of this team. And then with that, now we're very close friends, and we're spending time together outside of just doing real estate and just enjoying each other's company. So again, that's the power of just knowing who you are and placement and being comfortable with who you are and using all the techniques and knowledge that are out there. And by doing so, I've had I'm accepted, of course, in Orange County with the great group in Orange County with Mark, Brenda, Davey, all the others that I mentioned, and Darren. Also in Thousand Oaks, with the Ventura County family, which I love to death, and with Sunday and Juliet and Jason Parks and all the others over there. It's just awesome. Again, just for them to accept me, with open arms, and me to try to add as much value as I can. I know I am, and I know others can say the same. We're nowhere without the community, and the way to brand yourself and market yourself is to compare yourself with people like yourself and communities like yourself, and then also the platforms that are out there to give you the best tools, right, to go out there and hone your craft and to really get to yourself to a position where you need to get to. So, like I said, you and what you've done for me, the people that you've connected me with within your inner circle, your personal inner circle. I saw Jeff in here from Houston showing me support. Like, dude, really? Like Jeff from Houston. I mean, it's awesome. I still talk to him. We talk about the Rangers. He talks about how the Rangers won the World Series and the Dodgers suck. It is what it is,
I
So
love Jeff.
yeah. But again, to see that kind of support is just amazing, So and again, that's all because of you and what you've allowed me to kind of come into your inner circle. So I'm humbled and appreciative of that. So I would tell anybody, all 62 that are still on this call, if you haven't already, make sure you jump into JJ's page, because your life will change and you'll be better for it 1,000%.
No, I thank you so much. Hey, if you guys are watching on YouTube right now, please like Zo's video presentation. Please put in the comment section your takeaways about what you found informative or valuable, or maybe how I can improve my call a little bit to bring even more value to the community. Really appreciate you guys. If you want to catch up with Zo, you want to get his link there off of his QR code. His cell number is 562-843-4928. He'll take a text message from you as well. If you want to get a hold of me, go to my website, jjazizan.com. Click the little register now button, pulsing button, register for the group. Feel free to text me. My number is 818-683-4047. Make yourself visible, make yourself known, network with intention. If you're not memorable, you're forgettable. So make an impact on your community and be visible. Don't go away, guys. We're going to live breakout rooms right now, and it's going to be awesome. So other than that, we'll see everybody else out in the virtual world of internet and Instagram and Facebook, right?
Also, one more thing. If you guys don't already know, June 15th is a big day for us here. So make sure that you guys, if you haven't already, get with JJ, sign up and register for the big picnic that we're going to have. We do it yearly. This is actually our second annual. There was over 200 plus people there the last time. A great opportunity for all the locals here in California, and people fly in for it as well too. To
Yeah.
sit there and network with very well established and like-minded individuals. And again, I don't want to go too far into the weeds, JJ. I know, but JJ's had confirmation that a guest speaker that's very important to all of us. There's a big possibility that
We haven't confirmed that speaker yet, so we're
so we'll leave it out there. But it's a good possibility that someone will spend a whole day with us. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and it's in Griffith Park, Southern California, but we had people flying last year from 7 states, including West Palm Beach. So we'll talk about that more after we get off the call. But again, everybody, thank you for joining us on the call today. If you've been watching on YouTube, thank you so much. And Zo, we'll see them out in the virtual world.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us.